Welcome to Awakening the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kristian Strang, and today we have a special edition of the podcast. We are bringing back one of our OGs from our interview series, and we are taking it to the next level. I'm so excited to introduce to you today, or reintroduce to you today, Tiffani Barnum. Tiffani, also known as Puma in the dance world, is a transformational coach, healer, and embodied leader devoted to creating spaces where people can reconnect to their full, unapologetic selves. With over 20 years of experience in guiding deep, soulful transformation, Puma leads with an open heart and a fierce, compassionate presence. As the founder of Embodied Magic, she combines intuitive coaching, somatic healing, and the power of movement to help people reclaim their magic, embody their truth, and step into their leadership on and off the dance floor. Through her signature offerings like the Goddess Get Down Apprenticeship, and you know we're going to talk about that, and personalized curated playlists, Puma helps individuals awaken to the sacred dance of life, using movement as a pathway to deeper spiritual connection, personal empowerment, and creative expression. Tiffani's approach is grounded in the belief that every person holds the divine within them, and her work is about helping others remember their inherent power and brilliance. She's not here to teach you to dance. She's here to guide you in remembering the magic that moves through you to ignite your inner fire and lead with love, authenticity, and unshakable confidence. Woo, are you ready for this, y'all? Welcome back to Awakening the Podcast, Tiffani. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so just ecstatic to be here.
It's going to be so much fun. For those of you that might be new to Tiffani, be sure to check out episode 62 that came out May 23rd. That'll give you more of her introductory story. But it's a little bit of a secret, maybe not so secret, that I really wanted to bring Tiffani back because the work that she is doing is so powerful for those of us on the spirit-led path, those of us on an awakening path. And I wanted to expand into this piece about dance and movement. Now, if you were with us for the 2025 Golden Age Goddess Summit, we'd had a little bit of that come in where some of the women, I think a few of them were talking about dance as an important part of their spiritual practice. And I really wanted to go deeper with that. And I knew Tiffani was the one to bring in so that we can talk more about dance as a spiritual practice and path, and how we can utilize this sacred, divine, feminine goddess movement to support us on our awakening and spirit led journey. So, Tiffani, with that sort of backstory now shared with the audience, I want to open it up to you and have you share more. Because our first time together, we talked about your general spiritual awakening path, because that was really our focus. And now I
Mhm.
want to move into some more of these finite ways that we can express our spiritual and experience our spiritual unfolding. So, can you tell us a little bit about how dance came to you on your spiritual path?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you again for having me. And I will talk about dance all day, every day. So happy to. For most people who know me through dance, I would say, they would say that my journey started about 8 years ago when I discovered ecstatic dance. I moved to Bend, Oregon. I was guided there by spirit. Didn't really know what I was about to be doing and showed up at Bend Ecstatic Dance. In fact, you were there for my first dance, I think, Kristian, where there was maybe 15 people and I just fell in love. I'd never heard of ecstatic dance prior to moving to Bend. I didn't really know much about it. Um, and, from there, just even in that first dance, I was like, wow, I get to take up space. Someone who's always been in a larger body. I have my whole life, and for a variety of reasons, and I'm sure many can relate to this, have been told not to take up space and to be small and to, just don't make it, don't make any movements, don't do anything. But there I was like, wow, I can take up as much space as I'd like. I'd also just moved and I literally couldn't move in my house. There were boxes and things. Um, but as I reflect back and have really been thinking about my journey with dance, I've always been a dancer. I just didn't know what that meant or what that looked like because I even think as a child, I grew up with records and I would put on records in the den. We had this room where the record player lived and I would dance. I didn't know what I was doing. Sometimes people thought I was really weird and crazy, but I was like, whatever, I'm a little girl. What else do you want me to do? Um, to even in high school, I'm very I've never been much of a joiner. And in high school, I moved in my sophomore year and was asked to get involved. I was living with my great aunt and uncle, and like, you should get involved in student leadership or do something. Mostly, I think they wanted me to just be out of the house more, um, but also to get connected because I was new. They were older. I didn't, and I went to a school dance and was like, if I'm going to show up to a dance, this needs to be way better. Like there was no ambiance. I was like, everyone's outside, no one's actually dancing. And I don't know how I feel about dance, but and then I became the dance commissioner. I put on the most successful dances that high school had seen in years.
Amazing. I did not know this. This is
I
incredible.
forget about, I mean, high school, I'm like, whatever. But I was like, no, we're going to make this better. If people like, this is such a rite and passage and thing in high school, right? Like the dances, gathering, connecting. And so it's always been in the background and it just ignited in a very different way 8 years ago. And now it's just my passion and calling in so many ways.
Okay, there's so much good stuff there that I want to highlight here. First, because I remember we were working together, Tiffani is absolutely fearless. And when guidance comes in, girl goes. And she goes and she creates. And this was such an example of that. And I remember us going to that dance and it being your first dance, and it was incredible. And then next thing I know, you're leading the dance. You're taking over. Like it was just like this incredible expansion. And the piece that I really want to highlight here for listeners and those watching is that Tiffani didn't get guidance, go to bend because this, and this is going to happen for you. It was go to bend, period, end of story. This is how guidance works, right? It's
Right.
like go to the dance, you don't know what is going to unfold, but you ended up stepping into, you were already a leader in your field as a transformational coach and healer, and you just went to the next level and bend in facilitation of dance and bringing dance into and merging that with spiritual healing and practice. I mean, it was incredible to witness, and I really want to honor you for that and also highlight that because that is an important piece of being on an awakening path, on a spirit-led path, is we don't get the whole story. We get the one little bit. Go here, do this.
Right.
You never know what it's going to lead to.
We never know. I mean, and that's, I mean, really is what a metaphor for dance too. It's like you just take the step, you do the thing. And this is why I love leading ecstatic dance, sacred dance. There's no dance steps. It's not a choreographed thing. It's not a performative thing. It's just movement and like one step at a time. And the guidance, we never know. We never know. And we don't, what's the saying? It's not, thinking doesn't give us clarity, taking action does.
100%.
Because
Love
we just
that so much.
don't get the next piece until we do the thing.
That's right. The other piece that you really demonstrate is that a lot of people, when they get guidance to do things or new opportunities come in, they make up all the reasons why they can't, right? You could have been like, oh, I don't look the way, quote unquote, the program says I should be looking as a dancer. So I can't do this. You were like, I love this. This feels free and amazing. I can bring my leadership, my healing gifts in, and I'm going to do it. And that is such a huge, I mean, so much courage. And also the devotion to the divine, that when the divine says, or and we feel that divine spark within us, that's the divine giving us guidance, that
Right.
you didn't hold yourself back. So many people find all the excuses why they're not the right person to do whatever it is. And we all have those excuses. but you actually didn't let any of that stop you. You acknowledged it and you kept moving. And that is so huge.
I was going to say, they definitely were there. It wasn't just like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
great, no problem. Because I just want to speak to that as someone who is, a guide, and I've lived through the doubt and the worry and the like, what are you even talking about? Go where, do what? And so yeah, it is acknowledging, it's not just ignoring those feelings or those like things. It's just what's here, where's the resistance, loving the resistance. Because right, what is resistance? It's just another part of us trying to protect us from something that we thought might be scary. And something I've been saying quite a lot recently is like, what is fear? What if the only thing that we're afraid of is just an uncomfortable feeling?
That's right.
And if that's all it is, even if there's pain, right? Like, what is pain
Mhm.
but an uncomfortable feeling, not to diminish whatever pain we've all experienced. And there's a lot of it going around in the world, and there's ways that it's there, but it's also there to transform us if we let it,
Mhm.
which is also again, like I love dance because we don't have to like we it gets us out of the thinking mind. Not about losing the mind completely, but that integration of like mind, body, and spirit. Like really, dance is one of those ways that we can just move with it all without having to get stuck
Yes.
in
Yes.
like molasses thinking, whatever.
And with your background in counseling and transformational coaching, you know that people can get stuck in their head and just like perseverate there and then not move. So to bring in the dance and to not only bring it in, but facilitate healing transformations through dance, to me is so profound and so needed. I want to highlight one other piece and then move forward here. The other piece is new information to me, which is you led you like did dance event planning back in high school.
Yeah, it did.
This is so huge that we have clues, right? If you look back on your journey, we leave clues for ourselves, the younger versions of ourselves, of the things that just naturally come in that we're just naturally good at. Like you went to that dance and you're like, okay, this is not working for me. We need to do something. That is so Tiffani, number one. That is so you, and I love it. And two, that it was like the path was there all along.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because it just I didn't even give it a second thought at the time, right? I was like, okay, I guess I can do that. And then to have that come back in a new way. And I think that's also so beautiful, Tyler, because we do leave clues, and it doesn't mean it's going to look the way we think it will. Or, I mean, then I didn't think I'd become some dance like guru or whatever. I don't know. Um, but it helped me plant some seeds because I could never have predicted.
Mhm.
Even before moving to Bend, the hour before moving to Bend, I could never have predicted in a million years what my life would have been like in Bend or even here now that I'm in Southern California. Um, and it's all from just showing up and seeing what happens.
Mm. Mm. That is a powerful message for everyone listening and watching. Show up and see what happens. Follow the guidance, show up, see what happens.
Yeah, I say this all the time. I'm like, show up, see what happens. If it's terrible, I can just leave. Is the other part where I'm like, if I don't like it,
Yeah,
I can go.
yeah, yeah.
But show up, see what happens.
So, talk to us a little bit about, because I know you've created this really amazing somatic intimacy container. Talk to us about some of the ways that dance and healing have come together and you've created it.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuances. I mean, really, I started with ecstatic dance where I was curating music and, already had a container I was stepping into, but even the basic principles behind ecstatic dance, whatever form it's taken in the world these days, is freeform movement and freedom of expression in whatever is present. So it's not, I mean, we say ecstatic dance, but it's not always very ecstatic feel what's happening. And so for me, it's not just the music curation, because that's a channel process of like, what's the journey that's needed? I'm really in ritual and ceremony when I'm doing that, but also the facilitation beforehand, because most of my current offerings and practices haven't been facilitation throughout the dance. So I really want the music to guide and let people's intuition and their own guidance move them with the canvas that's been presented with the music. But to get people dropped in, it is really, for me at least, important to pause before we get into movement to do a little breathing, do some meditation, sometimes a guided visualization, some energy healing, somatic practices. And so for something like somatic intimacy, that offering is a deeper dive. And that's different than, like, say, ecstatic dance. If I'm facilitating a bend ecstatic dance, there's a little, opening circle and talking about logistics, and here's the intention, and a little like, here we go. Somatic intimacy is I'm guiding people through some of the healing work that I do with folks one-on-one, get a little tool, a little practice, things they can also take away, but really want to bring us into a space and create a container where people feel open enough and they feel safe enough to potentially get very uncomfortable, actually, because it's not just, dance isn't about just looking good and it being really beautiful. I paint with all the colors when it comes to the music journey, depending on what's needed. Getting into the emotional journey, because that's where my counseling background comes in with the music curation, is what's the emotional journey? Like, how do we feel anger in a safe way? How do we let it rip through our bodies? And it's not about what the like, I mean, this is for all bodies. I know I myself have had the challenge of, like, I'm not a typical dancer body, but I'm here to lead because not everyone is that body. Like, I was like, oh, I'm here, I'm dancing for me, but I'm dancing for everyone in this place. And all abilities. There are times, last night I was dancing, I went to the dance here and I had a pull in one of my legs from just, I don't know, I just didn't stretch enough or moving around. So I sat in a chair, but I still was moving. And I still was moving energy, because it's not about what the body is doing necessarily so much as how do we move the energy? How do we feel the feeling? How do we invite in the thing our mind has been protecting us from?
Oh, so good. So what I'm hearing is that you're really combining. So, and this is what I wanted to highlight because I wanted to showcase to those listening and watching that this isn't, like you said, like ecstatic dance is great. There's a set list, you go and dance, and you take it even deeper with your clients and with the groups that you hold. And you hold these both online and in person, so you can reach people wherever they're at. Could you talk to us about, I wanted to give people even more context about, like, what's an example of like what it might look like for someone who has dance as part of their spiritual practice and part of their spiritual path. Like, every morning, or I go to, and maybe pull from your own experience. I just want to give them a little more tangibility about, like, okay, those that are listening, they know they want dance to be more of their spiritual, part of their spiritual and healing journey. How might that look?
Yeah. You just do it. I mean, really, bottom line, I know that's just like, I'll share more. You don't have to get out of the house and go to an ecstatic dance, or find, I mean, there's so many different offerings out there, and I have many too. Um, but all you have to do is take up a little space and move. And maybe that is daily. For me, my daily practice has come and gone over the years, depending where I'm at in life and movement. And I've recently moved, and this mirror back here is also a big, important part of dance practice for me. And this is also something I recommend with clients, whether at dance or my one-on-one clients, is to find the way, find a way to get into your body. Put on one song, set an 11-minute timer. First thing in the morning, whenever, like first thing in the morning, at night, when you're, obviously when you're feeling it, but sometimes when you're not. And I think that's sometimes the hardest, but the most important time, is because if you're feeling like blah or stuck, literally dancing, moving your body will shift the energy. And you don't have to think about it or know what it is or understand it or have any understanding at all. But if you're like, blah, I feel weird, I feel not how I want to be feeling. Let's not give any judgment to any how we're feeling, but because I know right now in consciousness, there's a lot of funky stuff happening out there. Um, but just do it. And one of the things that I love, to take it a little deeper, it's like, okay, put on a song. When I was working full time from home, I would take dance breaks because there's a lot of sitting. A lot of us do a lot of sitting. And especially in front of Zoom, things are virtual. That's a beautiful way. But like, just get up and move. Dance in your chair. I used to hold online dances for my company back in the day for a few months, where I was like, all right, 45 minutes on Fridays, we're dancing on Zoom together. I know people are
Love
sometimes
it.
reluctant to dance on Zoom, but I'm like, you're in your own space. I want to talk about that in a little bit, but like back to a personal practice. The other piece to like take it deeper, what I love about a mirror practice is watch yourself dance
Yes.
and just notice. You're like, ooh, if you're clothed, is there a certain part of your body that feels stiff or stuck? And you can start to see that. Also, closing your eyes is great because you can tune in a really different way. The piece to body love, which is a huge part of why I dance and why it's important, because all of our healing, all of our spiritual connection, and everything, the answers are right here in our body. Like, right, Trevor Hall says it. It's in and through the body.
Yeah.
And so, if you want to go deeper, and you don't need instruction on this, you can just do this. Dance naked in front of your mirror. Block all the windows. You can turn off the lights. You can have low lighting. Make it really ritual. And men, I'm talking to you too, not just to the women in the room. All bodies, like we all have bodies, and this is how we can deepen our love for them. Is notice what we notice in that mirror. Like it's a literal mirror. Everything's a mirror, but where you're like, ooh, I really love what's happening right here. And notice where you're like, ooh, I really don't love what's happening here. Like, what are the stories? What are the stories you're telling about your body? Because if you're telling them about your body knows it and feels it and has that. And this is where we can learn to be wise and masterful of like, ooh, I really hate my belly.
Mhm.
I can't stand it. Whatever the story is, I'm gross, whatever the story is. And then you can write it down. And I have practices where I work with clients for how to disentangle that. I know, Kristian, you do too, your SSCC folks, the coaches, of just like, how do we start to disentangle those stories that we carry, whether ours or not, wherever we got them from, so that we can set ourselves free.
Mm.
And that's really the core of all that I do. And I know you too, Kristian, and is everything that I do for myself and with my clients is to help them set themselves free. It's not me doing it. I mean, obviously, I have my own work to do for my own freedom, and then that's the movement.
Mm.
And
Amazing. I'll go continue.
oh, I was just going to say, I mean, really, it's what my invitation for anything that I'm doing is to help people move and be moved. And that is the movement, like as a revolution or as just whatever, however, the words there are like to move.
And you said so many powerful things here, but I really want to highlight, all bodies are welcome into this space and all can benefit from this. All levels of ability, all levels of visual perception, like all of it is welcome. And then setting yourself free with dance. Because that is really what we're doing here on earth, is attempting to liberate ourselves from control, dominance, programs, our own stuff, our family stuff, however it manifests for us. And I love that you have brought together your 20 years of transformational work and brought it into the dance space so that folks are not only having, a dance experience, they're having a healing as well. They're receiving a healing when they dance with you. And for those who are watching and listening, if you know that you're someone who needs to move your body, and I believe we all do, but there are some of us more than others that are like, my body needs that. So for those of you watching and listening that know that your body needs that, you need this kind of healing spiritual practice, I highly recommend getting connected to Tiffani. She has some amazing freebies for you. She has a set list freebie for you, and I would encourage you to go to embodiedmagic.myflowdesk.com slash email. Are we using slash email? Yes. So we'll have the link in bio. We'll have the link everywhere. But I wanted to give that to those of you that are like, I need to connect with this woman right away. On my browser, I have embodiedmagic.myflowdesk.com. So go there. You can get a free set list from Tiffani. You can connect with her. Remind me what your IG is, Tiffani, as well.
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm also embodied underscore magic, and that's an easy way to connect as well.
Awesome. And then for those of you that are healers and you are hearing this and you're like, yes, 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 Tiffani has created an incredible offering for you, and it's the Goddess Get Down Apprenticeship. And Tiffani, we've got a few more minutes here. I'd love for you to just tell the healers
Mhm.
about this offering so that they too can bring this into the healing work that they do.
Yeah, yeah, I am so excited about this. When I got the guidance to create this, it was just like green lights. So the Goddess Get Down Apprenticeship is not just for the goddesses in the room. It is after I've been hosting something called the Goddess Get Down for All, which has been my women's only dance. And the apprenticeship is open to anyone who wants to deepen or learn for, you don't have to have any experience, how to facilitate really deeply powerful embodied movement spaces. And so whether you're like you as a healer or as a practitioner, or even if you're like, hey, maybe this is my calling, it's a 3-month deep dive with me where we're meeting weekly for 2 hours. And we're covering in the first month how to curate the musical set journey. And it's a workshop I've done in Bend. And so I'm expanding this. It's all online. You can join from anywhere, where we'll talk about like what is the journey through music. It's the art and the science of it. So everything that I'm teaching and sharing is not just the logistics and all of that, which I also love, by the way, but also the energetics and what what that takes to create the journey and the different phases and all of that. I've got 8 years of doing a lot of this and happy to share that with everyone. Our second month we'll do it, how to create the container. Both again, the event, the logistics and energetics of it, whether you're doing it physically or online. It's not just like hop on Zoom and do a thing. Um, and then the third month will focus on facilitation and embodied leadership. So how to show up and hold those spaces. And everyone who joins gets, we have those weekly sessions together. There will be some opportunities for one-on-one work to address any of your stories and work on your confidence and um, make sure you have everything you need, that by the end of the 3 months, you're ready to roll with whatever offering, whether you're bringing it into your practice with your clients or it's a group setting, in person, online, weekly, monthly, or just a one off. Maybe you're getting ready for a retreat or something like that. And again, this is for anyone. I'm stressing the men because I'm like, men, we need you in your bodies. Come on, like someone come lead this more, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for all of that, that's a 3-month container. We start September 17th. And I'm just so excited to bring this because if we all were in our bodies more and we all understood the magic and the like advanced technology that we all are just a little bit more, the world would change.
Mm. Mhm.
We would. And
Mhm.
so while I love doing it, I also want to create and support a community of people who are also doing this. And there's a lot out there too. And there's so many different ways to go about this. And also to bring that, like why it's the Goddess Get Down is like to connect with that divinity and
Mhm.
the divine human experience. So it's not just the body and not just the spirit and the mind, but really that holistic approach to all of it and supporting you in your particular flavor or medicine that you're here to bring forth. Um, because I want us all to win.
And so it is. I love this. And also, as you're sharing, it's like for any any healer or transformational, anyone in the transformational space, you might choose to do this for your own embodiment and that be it as well. Like maybe you go on to have a whole career as Tiffani has had, leading dance and facilitating dance and providing spiritual healing through dance. Or maybe you become so fully embodied in yourself and then you're taken on, another journey. So I really love that you've created this offering. It just feels like such a huge service to the healers and the artists and the creatives out there who know how important movement is with their spiritual practice. And if you're hearing this by any chance and it's after September 17th, don't despair. Still get into Tiffani's swirl, reach out to her. She'll be holding this, I'm sure, at other times in the future. So get into her space. And I'm telling you, if you have not had a set list created by Tiffani, otherwise AKA Puma, you do not know what you're missing. I love music. I can put together music. Everybody now, you get on Spotify or YouTube, it's nothing. Nothing compared to what this woman can create. So she is literally channeling this and bringing it through, and it's incredible. And I highly recommend that you get on her freebie so you can get her set list and you want to experience and be trained in her methodology, excuse me, for creating set lists because it is unique and one of a kind. And it's truly like, seriously, I would not just be saying this, like, literally every dance I've gone to that you facilitated, it's just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, it's so good and really takes you on a journey that is not like a sort of that structure, like this is the structure of an ecstatic dance. It just takes you wherever Tiffani has been divinely guided to take the group. So it's really a special experience that I highly recommend everyone have the experience of.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, all that I'm offering with the Goddess Get Down apprenticeship isn't just a training. It's
Yeah.
also attunement.
Yeah.
Also getting you where you need to be able, whether you're, I had someone who signed up who was like, but I'm not going to do dance, but I do yoga and I need music. And I'm like, great, any embodiment practice. Or you can take these pieces. When I work with clients one-on-one, it's just like, here's some music that's coming through that's going to help facilitate this movement for you. So it can be used in a lot of, I mean, there's a lot to be gained, I think, from this apprenticeship, depending on what just sparks for you.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here with us today. As always, I love being able to chat with you and go deeper. And we went to some really yummy places today. Thank you for your service to Divine Love and all you're doing to support the co-creation of the next Golden Age, Tiffani. It's truly just an honor to witness you and watch you continue to expand. It's so beautiful. And thank you to all of you for being here and watching and listening. You can find us on the YouTube, or you may find us wherever you listen to podcasts. If this podcast resonated for you, be sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, let the algorithms know you want more of this kind of content. If you'd like more from me, please go to sacred-spirituality.org. We've got some fun freebies, transmissions. We've got a new book out. So lots of good stuff for you there. Thank you again for watching. This has been Awakening the Podcast, and I'm your host, as always, Dr. Kristian Strang. So much love to you.